Would you still drop to your knees and pray today if you knew it guaranteed your execution tomorrow? Captured as a young man and taken to Babylon, Daniel ascended through the imperial court. His wisdom and integrity made him a top advisor, placing him at the height of power in the most formidable empire on earth. But holding supreme authority as a foreigner made him a massive political target. The ambitious native officials beneath him despised having to answer to a captive. Daniel achieved his rank without resorting to political ruthlessness. He relied entirely on his daily devotion to God. To his enemies, that unwavering faith became the only predictable pattern they could weaponize against him. These rival officials scoured his records, looking for a weakness. They found zero corruption, no administrative flaws, no hidden scandals. To trap him, they had to invent an entirely new crime. This chart maps their legal strategy. They forced a direct intersection between Daniel's daily devotion and an irrevocable state law. The king signed a strict decree. For 30 days, petitioning any god other than the king became a capital offense. The penalty for violating this mandate was brutal. The guilty would be thrown alive into a pit filled with starved lions. The officials engineered a perfect, lethal trap. They forced Daniel into a corner where he had to choose between his spiritual life or a violent, immediate death. When the law was published, typical human survival instincts would dictate panic. Daniel did not hide. He didn't seek a legal loophole. He walked straight home, left his windows wide open, and knelt to pray. He continued the exact discipline he had practiced his entire life. He knew his enemies were waiting in the shadows to document this. He prayed anyway. True faith manifests as unbreakable discipline under extreme pressure. By staying on his knees, Daniel proved he valued spiritual obedience far more than physical survival. The trap snapped shut. The officials immediately burst into the king's court with their proof, formally charging the empire's top advisor with treason. The king was caught by the law of the Medes and Persians. Under this system, once a monarch seals a decree, it cannot be revoked, not even by the king himself. The most powerful man on the planet was legally paralyzed, forced by his own signature to order the execution of his most trusted friend. The king discovered that his absolute power was a double-edged sword. By sealing a law he couldn't take back, he had effectively trapped himself in the same cage as his advisor. Guards threw Daniel into the pit. A massive stone was rolled over the entrance, sealing it into total darkness with the predators. Above ground, the king retreated to his lavish palace. He refused all food, tormented by a sleepless night of panic and anxiety. Below ground, surrounded by hungry lions in a death trap, Daniel experienced something entirely different: divine silence and perfect peace. Look at the paradox of this night. The man in the palace is consumed by fear. The man in the lion's den is completely fearless. At the first break of dawn, the king sprinted out from his palace, rushing to the sealed pit. He called out in anguish into the dark cave, expecting to hear nothing but the silence of a horrific death. A calm voice echoed back from the darkness. Daniel announced he was completely untouched. God had sent an angel into the den to physically shut the mouths of the lions for the entire night. Divine authority had physically suspended the laws of nature. Daniel stood in the morning light, unharmed, because he trusted his God to act when human help was impossible. The impact was immediate. The shaken king wrote a new decree, broadcasting Daniel's survival across his entire empire. He issued a public command requiring all nations to recognize the supreme power of Daniel's living God. What fears in your own life would disappear if you trusted God with that same totality? The lions were hungry, but Daniel's faith was stronger.
When the world acknowledged that your faith can open the pathways so others could recognize the power and the supreme authority of the God Almighty today, your faith has moved mountains and lions. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dive contents on this channel.